I just found out a really cool gadget on my phone. This is the worst thing ever. I am like literally cut off, but there is absolutely nothing I can do. My phone is stuck on its charger right now. It's dead. And I don't have anywhere to plug in my phone. It is like 9 o'clock at night. There is no light. I made this whole entire video about 2.5 hours ago, and I did it in the daylight in a parking lot. It was great lighting, everything was perfect, and then my phone decided to overheat and, yeah, killed my video. So now I'm doing it with no makeup on. I have the worst lighting going on right now. I look extremely gaunt and pale. I just got out of the shower, and I'm just not having this right now. This is a really bad video, but whatever. There's nothing I can do. I just want to get this video out. I need to get a video on my channel because I literally have not uploaded anything yet. But I want to talk about this because this is something that I'm really passionate about. I really love talking about it. And, yeah. So anyways, this channel is going to consist of hair coloring and women's health. I'm just going to get that out there. But the one thing that I do want to talk about is something that the majority of women go through is ovulation. Not a lot of information and not a lot of research is done about the symptoms of ovulation. To most women, ovulation means it's the time when you have to be careful because you are very highly, able to get pregnant. So that's usually what most women know about it. They don't really know anything else. When I first found out about ovulation, I was 25 years old. And I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what the hell it was. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't even know what that word was. I didn't know anything. All I knew was about my period. And then I started to talk to my sister-in-law, and she was at the time, she was like waist deep in it because she had been doing tons and tons of research for years because she had fertility issues and she was, trying to have a baby. So she had to explain like everything to me. She had to go through everything, and it was crazy. But it took on my own, it took years and years and years of learning the ins and outs of ovulation. I didn't know that there are so many like parts of the rainbow when it comes to ovulation. I just learned something new the other day that I didn't know about it. And I'm constantly learning new things physically about myself about it. The other thing is too is that right now I am going into my 40s. I'm going on 37 years old. So as you start to inch closer towards your 40s, you start to enter into perimenopause, and your body will start to take a change as well at that point. That's where I'm at right now. So with my ovulation, it's kind of like up in the air. It's not really as strong as it used to be when I was in my 20s. I don't really have a lot of cervical mucus. I'm kind of dry. I don't really ovulate when I'm supposed to. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So basically right now, it's extremely hard for me to get pregnant. Like, extremely hard. I have to track my ovulation. I have to have sex on all the days that I ovulate, or all the days that I get a positive. I have to continue to keep tracking it, and then go from there. The one symptom that I have been battling with for the past, I'd say about 4 years now, ever since I had my third child, is anxiety. Generalized hormonal anxiety. I get struck down with it probably every other month. I'd have to say probably every other month with this, and it only happens to me usually when I'm in my ovulatory phase. So you have your menstrual phase when you're bleeding. You have your follicular phase, which is right before ovulation. That's that point like after your period ends and you're feeling really cool and everything's great. And then you enter your ovulatory phase, which is ovulation. And then you go from your ovulatory phase to your luteal phase, which is PMS. So right now I'm in my ovulatory phase. I'm about to enter into my luteal phase, and I usually have a super duper long luteal phase. My luteal phase will last anywhere between 2 and 2.5 weeks. I don't like it. It's hell. This month, and this is where the anxiety comes in. So last month in July, my ovulation was extremely late. I ovulated 7 to 8 days before my period starts. You're actually supposed to ovulate way before that. You're supposed to ovulate 14 days before the start of your next period. I didn't do that. With that being said, my period was late last month. Instead of it being a 26-day cycle, it was a 30-day cycle. And obviously I found out I wasn't pregnant because I ovulated late. This month, after my period ended, my ovulation tried to go back to normal. It tried to go back to where it usually is, which is usually about, I'd say probably like 5 to 6 days after the last day of my period, I start to ovulate. I start to get fertile, and then that's when I move into ovulation. That's what happened this month, which is a good thing. It's actually a really good thing that my body is, kind of on cue this month. But the bad part is that since my period and my ovulation are so close to each other, and they are like, I didn't get much of a break, it all goes straight up here. My hormones will go through the roof, and everything starts to go out of whack. And with that brings with it, in its suitcase, it brings generalized anxiety. I don't wish generalized anxiety disorder on my worst enemy. And I know it's super popular amongst women. It is so popular. Women are the ones that take up the majority of prescription SSRIs because of generalized anxiety disorder. It is pure hell. It disrupts my days, it disrupts my nights, it disrupts everything in my life when I'm going through it. The top 3 symptoms that I have when I'm about ready to ovulate, and I know I'm about ready to ovulate, is dizziness, anxiety, and I get like a full feeling, or sometimes like pressure in my abdomen. Those are usually my top 3 symptoms. The one symptom that usually comes and sticks around for quite some time is I start to have insomnia. I start to have insomnia that will last usually for anywhere between 4 to 5 days, sometimes a week. Sometimes it lasts my whole entire luteal phase, and I struggle. That only usually happens when my period and my ovulation are really close together, because your hormones go out of whack and everything starts to just like screw up, and your mind doesn't know where it's at. Your mind doesn't know, okay, are we ovulating? Are we starting a period? Are we ending a period? Are we entering PMS? It doesn't know exactly which way it's going. And it really sucks when you're perimenopausal, because your body is really confused because it doesn't know what is going on. It's trying to kill off all these other hormones because you're about ready to enter menopause. It's a huge mess. Ovulation, scientists have called it the other time of month. It can go from your period to ovulation. Ovulation is starting to come up because scientists are starting to realize that ovulation is starting to affect women just as much as the period does, sometimes more so. My ovulation affects me more than my period. My ovulation will literally feel like a second PMS, sometimes worse than my PMS. I always say that ovulation phase is worse than my luteal phase. I cry at the drop of a hat. I will literally just start bawling. I've cried 3 times today. Mood swings up the ass. Like literally, I will just flip out. I crave chocolate, dark chocolate. It's really weird. I crave shrimp, salmon. I'm not really a big eater when it comes to around this time. I get really nauseated. My stomach is a mess. It is a complete mess. I get diarrhea, gas, my gurgles start to act up, acid reflux, indigestion, heartburn. I get all kinds of issues down there. Farting, I get a lot of that. But my appetite is very strange. I'm hungry, but I'm not that hungry. And then that's usually when I start to lose weight. I start to go through, during this cycle, I start to lose weight. The reason why sometimes your stomach can act up when you're in your ovulatory phase is because of the progesterone, as well as the declining and increasing of hormones and everything else in between. It sometimes can go straight to your stomach, and it can actually make you sick. So, nausea and vomiting are one of the top 2 symptoms of ovulation. I had it the other night. I usually get it at night. I'll get a lot of nausea. Not last night, but the night before I had it really bad. Like, I was just like, I literally thought I was going to throw up. I could not go to sleep. It was just like non-stop nausea. It kept coming in waves, and it was just like, it was horrible. It was bad. I I was like, I'm gonna puke. I know I'm gonna puke. I just continued to keep fighting it like all night long. The best thing that I can say to do is to drink water. To sip on it. I usually keep my water in a little jug. I'll just sip on it throughout the night, or I sip on it throughout the day. Um, I try my hardest to just kind of keep that in the back of my mind about the water situation, because water actually will combat a lot of the issues that you're having, like the swelling, the bloating, the pain down there. If you do get mental smirch, which is pain during ovulation, they're cramps. It's basically it's cramps. Um, so water is a huge, huge help. Um, the other thing is too, like I said, anxiety sucks. It really does. It will ruin your days, ruin your nights. It's just a really, really horrible thing. And the sad part is, a lot of people in the world have it. Um, Today I was out and about with my kids, and I wasn't having a good day, just at all. Period. Um, I was stuck in my own head all day. I just literally was sad all day. Like I said, I cried 3 times today. I'm gonna try really hard not to cry when I make this video. Um, and just wasn't having it. But I kept like pushing forward because I knew that I wanted to spend time with my kids and, you know, let them have fun. And they were playing at the water park, and they were kind of like splish splashing around and stuff like that. I was so stuck in my head because of the anxiety that something came to me that was just like, you could be recording them right now and saving this memory, because you can look back on this later on instead of sitting here stuck in your own head and letting your day get away from you. After this thought crossed my mind, it hit me. I was like, okay, you're literally letting this destroy your day. Like, you're letting yourself get stuck up in here, and you're not. A lot of the times, anxiety is lies. It's a lot of lies. It's a lot of. It's almost like paranoia. It's kind of, and you can get that. You can also get that during ovulation. You can start to get kind of like paranoid. You start to get kind of schizo. Like, you just kind of start to feel like you're kind of losing it. Like, you're starting to lose grip with reality. Lack of sleep doesn't help. You're not. You're not losing your grip on reality. You're not going insane. It's literally just your damn hormones. It literally will just make you. And if you're perimenopausal like I am, my mother actually, when she hit her late 40s, early 50s, she ended up. I think her periods were pretty much done at that point, but that's when she ended up getting put on SSRIs. They put her on Lexapro, and she had to be put on it because hers was like really bad. Like, she was to the point where she was crying all the time. She would just sit home and like not leave her house. Like, she wouldn't do anything. She was just like crying like all the time. My dad was just like, okay, you need to go to the doctor. So it was because of her menopause. The doctor said, he said the hormones, you know, things like that. Being a woman totally sucks. I'm just going to say that right now. We go through literal hell. And there is not enough research being done to a lot of the things that women go through. There's not. I'm just going to say it. There is hardly any research at all. We don't have any research hardly on postmenstrual syndrome. We don't have hardly any. They're starting to get good with ovulation. They're starting to come up with a lot more research on it. But there's not a lot on ovulation. The only thing that they ever focus on is PMS, and that is it. And there's more to it. There's more to the cycle of a woman. And it's scary, actually. I made a video a couple of years ago talking about postmenstrual syndrome, and it has so many views on it. And I had so many women just commenting on it and being like, thank you so much for making this video. I thought I was losing my mind. Like, I thought I was going crazy. And it's sad to me. It breaks my heart because these women feel alone. Like, there's so many women out there right now that are probably going through the same thing I'm going through, and they think they're losing their damn minds. And you're sitting up at night crying in your room and bawling, or you're locking yourself in your bathroom, bawling your eyes out, thinking I'm going insane. You're not going insane. It's your hormones. It's literally the damn hormones. And it will make you believe things in your head that are not true. It's like a chemical unbalance in your brain. Don't talk to a guy about your issues. Trust me. Men have no idea what it is that we're going through. My husband, he had to learn that the hard way today. Because he, he tried helping, but I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I like flipped out. I was like, you don't even know. But it is good to get support. It is good to, you know, have somebody to talk to vent and stuff like that. I'm not saying don't talk to your spouse, um, but there is, like, back to what I was saying in the beginning of the video. So ovulation does come with a lot. It comes with all kinds of symptoms. If you're in the middle of your cycle, like your period just ended, and you're probably like a week past, you know, your period, and you're like, why do I feel like I have PMS right now? Why do I feel funky? Why do I feel foggy? Fogginess comes with it, because that was one thing that I forgot today. I was like, why do I feel so weird? Like, you literally just feel like you're not with it. Like, you just can't get a straight thought. They call it ovulation fogginess. It comes with a boatload of problems, and it comes with a whole entire thing. But here's the thing: if you're trying to have a baby, it's good to track these symptoms, because once that weird boat starts coming around and you start to feel a certain way, that's when you can be like, okay, I have to be ovulating. I think now is the time to try for the baby, and also test. So anyways, I just wanted to make this video just to talk about this, because I don't see a lot of people talking about this at all. Like I said, there's not a lot of research on ovulation and ovulation symptoms. Anyways, peace out. Hopefully me uploading this video doesn't burn up my phone again.